Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, 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 Kal Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, meaning all praises to the Heavenly Father in the name of His Son. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Honors and salutations to all you Akim, you sincere brothers out there that's laboring in this truth. And this is gonna be a quick one. I'll call it something like Jake is gonna have to acknowledge the truth, or Jake is gonna be forced to acknowledge the reality of what's happening, you know. And pretty much this is just whatever you call this, a short clip. As you see, this is John Sally. Used to be he was a basketball player back in the '80s or whatever with the Detroit Pistons. I think he was with the Lakers, the Chicago Bulls. But anyway, he's saying something right here, right? And see, at eventually, all Jakes are gonna have to acknowledge the truth, man. Because Psalms 110:3 said, "In the day of thy power, thy people shall be willing." So eventually, what's happening? Jake can no longer, because what Jake been doing for years, they've been pretty much getting caught up into entertainment, and amusement and everything. And we always brought out that was basically a distraction. Now this is what this guy John Sally saying, which pretty sure he probably watch his brother's channels. But I'm gonna play this real quick because he makes a point about what they're doing with the whole Kanye thing and all this and that. What they're doing, they're using that right now. And I just said, okay, this just shows that Jakes are waking up, but it's gonna be too late for the most of our people. But anyway, I'm gonna play the clip.
As Kanye fan, soon as I see anything with Kanye that is huge and talked about everywhere, I step back and I look to my right and left. I look around. I go, something's about to happen. Because every time they've used Kanye as an excuse or a distraction, something went down that we were not paying attention to. In this present time, they're talking about White Lives Matter t-shirt, Black Lives Matters, what he's doing, people going back and forth. Yeah, and I think this Africa is upset. There's a war about to happen. There's a straight up war about to happen. This one's a real one. These are white folks against white folks. This is a real war.
You hear what he's saying? He's saying with all this Kanye and stuff going on, he said people are getting distracted because he said there's a war going on. He said this war is a real one. Okay, and he had a tear in his eye because the grim reality is if you got common sense and if you're paying attention, you're not all caught up into the politics, the election, and Adidas dropping Kanye, which Dave Chappelle brought it out in a comedic form about Adidas being funded by the Nazi Party, but Jake ain't gonna jump on that or boycott Adidas or nothing for that matter, but that's all distraction because there is a war going on according to the scriptures, man. So, but now I want to get to the scripture real quick. All right, hold on, let me put the do not disturb. Okay, we put the do not disturb on. So now I want to get a scripture. Actually, I'm in the book 2 Corinthians 2:11. All right. It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." Now, who is Satan? Satan is the so-called white man. They're the children of Satan, man. Satan means adversary. And everything that is happening is basically an adversary, meaning someone who's against. All right. Satan is the adversary that's against the Most High, the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, the Lord's doctrine. So everything in this society is against the Most High's program. So what they do is Satan, the international bankers, they control Hollywood, they control the media. That's well known. No matter how many times they try to sit there and lie and say, "Oh no, we don't, not really," all this other bullshit. And what they do is they control people with the media. I forget what the dude I don't know if it was that dude Anton Levine, but they said basically they praised the TV when the invention of the TV came because they said now we can put Satan's altar into everybody's home because why? Now Satan, the adversary, could control what you think by what they put on the TV the images, which now they got it to the point where they call it social media. So not just on your TV, but now on these phones that you have that they gave us, these computers, these, different devices. Well, that's all for what? To try. It's always been a distraction. The word amusement means to divert one's attention from serious issues or the truth. When you look into that word amusement, so that's what they give you, amusement, man. You see. But now, and like I said, Dave Chappelle, I guess it was Saturday Night Live or whatever, which I guess he would be like the new George Carlin or the black George Carlin, which George Carlin might have been a nigga, who knows. But anyway, he started speaking certain things. He said, look, he called out small hats in a comedic fashion. You know, he said when you talk about blacks, oh, that they're a gang when they work together. When you talk about the Italian mob, I mean, the Italians, when they work together, they call, oh, that's a mafia. When you talk about them small hatters, so-called fake so-called Jews, so, oh, it's just a coincidence. It's not what you think it. So he was throwing shots in a comedic fashion, but that's because why? Everybody now is trying to unplug from the matrix, but then a lot of them really don't want to unplug from the matrix. You see, once they really start seeing the truth, a lot of people rather remain asleep. They got a saying called "ignorance is bliss." You know, my woman's daughter the other night, was she was telling me or telling us, like, I don't watch the news. I don't want to watch the news. I don't know if that's bad, but I just don't want to know. And I just simply responded with the same way. Hey, they say ignorance is bliss because people rather not know. They don't want to know because why? It's ugly out there on all levels. It's just so much atrocious things that are going on behind the scenes. But the scriptures tell you at least Satan should get an advantage of us. See, because if the Lord's not dealing with you, you're gonna get caught up into them traps, to the media traps, into the social media traps, to the traps of the system, the systemic traps and everything. Okay, because you're not, awoke. The Lord didn't quicken your spirit. But it said at least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant, meaning not without knowing, of his devices. Devices meaning what? His evil imaginations. So you got my man John Sally over here, and he's normally always, if most time I see him, he's always jovial, jokey. I don't know if he watched the channel. Maybe he know he's an Israelite. He should know he's an Israelite. It ain't no excuse for none of you so-called Negroes and Latinos, Haitians, Dominicans. Ain't no excuse for none of y'all to not know that you're Israelites. A lot of y'all going all crazy over this Black Panther movie, Wakanda Forever and everything. And that movie is going to go over most of y'all head, man. Basically, in the movie, he was telling you that you're Israelites, the so-called Mexicans, the Haitians, all right, the so-called Negroes, the blacks. They were telling you that you were the Israelites, man. I mean, they use different terminology and things of that nature, but they were showing you that you were the sons of the. They said it. And they were showing you that Esau is the devil. All right, but a lot of you people celebrate. Oh, Black Panther Party. That shows you Jake is not in the right mind. So what this guy John Sally is saying, what the brothers saying is on point because they do. Because you see all of that take over the media, but they're not speaking about this major war, which is World War III, that's about to happen. All right, so I can't rewind it, so I'm gonna let this play again, and then I'm gonna just hit a few scriptures, and that's it.
This is like World War One and World War Two. This is going to be land changers.
He said this is gonna be land changes, and see, he's prophesying, man, because the land is gonna be changed, man. All right, the land is gonna be changed. I'm gonna get the scripture. All right, and so what he said is heavy, and the Lord said he's going to pour out his spirit upon all flesh. So you're going to see, again, people saying things, saying truthful things, prophetic things concerning the prophecy. But now, again, remember, just because someone speaks truth don't mean they have the truth. All right, we got to start making that clarification now because people get, somebody say something, oh, they say we're Jews. Okay, but what about the rest of it? You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody giving you the first 10 seconds of a 7-hour movie. All right. I mean, okay, they telling you the 10 seconds what they seen, but what about the rest of the movie? All right. What about the rest of the book? All right. If a book has 44 chapters, if somebody's only giving you one paragraph from the first chapter, then come on, you got to go deeper. All right. So that's why I said there's people that speak truth, but they don't have the truth. All right. But now this, he's speaking the truth because he's, as you see, he said this is going to be a land changer. Now I want to go to Isaiah. What is it? 13th chapter, and then I'm gonna go to the 24th chapter. Right? So actually, let me start up at the first verse. Isaiah 13 and 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Babylon, which means confusion, represents America. All right. And you go to various parts of the scriptures, we proved it time and time. We did tons of lessons showing you how America is the modern day Babylon. All right. It said, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, mountain representing the government. The banner is the Bible. That's why we keep bringing it back to the scriptures, because the prophecies of these scriptures are alive. See, people are just now starting to like really realize it. We've been saying this. The Lord had us here, man. All right. And a lot of y'all seen this, but y'all didn't take heed or y'all ain't listen. All right. Now you forced to listen. All right. It said, exhort the voice unto them. And y'all seen it. Y'all just thought we was a bunch of crazy screaming niggas. Now y'all realizing, wait a minute, man, maybe them Israelites out there, which most of them, most famously, because Times Square was one of the first strongholds that the elders before us, and us too, we came in at the tail end of that. We used to go out there in Times Square and everything, and 34th and 7, and that whole area. And there might still be a few other camps that go out around there. I'm not sure. But it's kind of hard. You can't really go out there no more. Like Apostle Tar said years ago, that's Elf City now. But anyway, they just thought we was just a bunch of screaming Negroes. Now they starting to say, wait a minute, man, them Israelites, what they saying? And then there was one guy that made a comment. And he said, look, man, I don't, he's pretty much, he said, he ain't really fuck with us like that. He said, but I got to be honest, man, the majority of the things that the Israelites were saying before, I'm now seeing them things happen. He was just like, I'm just saying, so the look, and that's Psalms 110 and 3. In the day of that power, that people should be willing. So you got to acknowledge the truth. You can't, because it's right before you, man. It's just right before you. But the Lord said, exalt the voice unto them, shake their hand. That's right, meaning calling them out, pointing them out. You so-called white people, you are the responsible for what your forefathers did, because you are your forefathers in the reincarnation. And in actuality, you're still doing the same shit in this day and age, but you're just lying about it. Call them out. You're just lying. It's that simple. All right. That's what the scriptures say, man. All right. It says that they may go into the gates of the nobles, and they did. They before congressional hearings and everything. What are we gonna do about the Israelites? We got to do this. They taking brothers' channels off. They started before we used to have, you still got groups that use speaking devices or whatever. But when we first used to use it way back in the days, they started taking it from us, and they was, oh, you ain't got a permit. Oh, your permit ain't approved. Oh, you can't come out here with gasoline generators and everything. And the Spirit got on the Apostle Paul. He said, man, fuck that sound speaker, man. We don't need that shit. Just lift up your voice, man. I remember that clear as day. All right. And then he said, look, the ancient prophets didn't have no fucking megaphones and all that stuff. And then from that point on, the rest was history, man. The Spirit. And that was unbelievable to me, because, the demons was on me like, oh, shit. How we going to, because I'm thinking, I got a low voice. How the hell we going to be able to project our voices? And I ain't, I was being simple, you know what I'm saying? And I seen it happen. So I was just blown away that how the Lord did it. And really, I can't see going back to speaking through a sound, But anyway, it said, shake the hand that they may go to the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. The sanctified ones meaning what? The ones who he made clean, the prophets, the elect, the ones that he woke up, the true prophets. All right, you got all kind of different prophets out there, but you only got one set of true prophets. All right. He said, I have also called, and those are the ones that acknowledge the whole truth of the Bible, the whole word, not bits and parts. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger. That's why they're seeing all these so-called chariots, these so-called UFOs, right? He said, even them that rejoice in my highness, because why? They rejoice in other words, they dwell with the Most High. All right. It said, a noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of kingdoms of nations gathered together. And this is what John Sally was saying. And he said, look, this is real. You got white people fighting against white people. That's how basically saying, that this shit is fucked up. All right. And then going back to what Yahweh Shai said, and matter of fact, I'll read it real quick. In the book of Matthew 12th chapter. What is it around like 26? Is it or yep 26? Well, I started 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. America is pretty much at the brink of civil war, like the Bishop Taziah one and Bishop Abad, I think it was, brought out yesterday at the camp at the highways. That you got pretty much that bullshit race is pretty much 50-50. It's 50-50, showing you that this country is completely split. Okay? So again, this is what the Lord said. And the Spirit had us saying this for the longest, man. Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. So where is America heading to? Desolation. That's why my man said, he said, we're talking about this could be this is going to be a land changer. And I don't know if he know how right he is, but he doesn't understand that that's the purpose of the Lord, which we're going to get to that, man, Lord willing. The Lord said that's his purpose. So there's nothing wrong. Everything that's happening is according to prophecy. Yes, it's going to be a lot of death, a lot of starvation. It's going to be a lot of horrible times. Good times are going to be over, man. Everybody think that, it's going to always be fun and games, go out club, party, bullshit, go enjoy walks at night, pool parties, going to, dates with you. Nah, look, man, things are shifting, man. Things are shifting, all right? But a lot of people are still deep in that comatose state. But then you got people that are, getting the boogers out of their eyes and really forced to wake up and see that, oh, shit, this shit is about to really go down. The things that were talked about are really happening. Yeah, you goddamn right, man. Verse 26 or 25 again. It says, in every city or house divided against itself is not the house of America, the House of Representatives all divided. It said, or a house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, remember we went to earlier about the children of Satan, these devils, the so-called white man. So if Satan cast out Satan, you got so-called white people condemning other so-called white people, even in these other countries. Because even, the Lord is going to use Russia, those missiles and everything. But the people that's occupying that land today, those are still Edomites, man. The people that are in control in Greece and certain of these other countries and these superpowers or whatever, Italy and the people that's in control over here in America, and I'm not talking about the puppet leaders, the people behind the scene, they're still all Satan, but they all speaking against each other. So the Lord said, if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? You see? So now back to Isaiah 13. Okay, it says, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. It said they come from a far country, from the end of the heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. So he was speaking about land changes, yes, because these wars are going to lead to the weapons of the Lord's indignation, which is what? Those ICBM missiles, the thermonuclear missiles you constantly hear them talking about in the media, about all these different treaties and different new missiles and the testing and everything. Well, that's the weapons of the Lord's indignation. It said they come from a far country. So yes, they're going to hit America too. It said to destroy the whole land. See? Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. That's what's happening now. And you see John Sally, like I said, he's more so like he's almost, I would mistake him for a stand-up comedian. All right, and he's a good storyteller, but the motherfuckers over here like trying not to cry. Because when you really, if you're not woke, you know what I'm saying, this shit gonna hit a lot of people. A lot of people are gonna be mourning, more than just they mourning for their favorite rappers getting killed. That's gonna be that's already almost a pastime. Everybody's already saying the worst thing to be is a rapper because that's and that's was done through design, and then again, and it's in a way it's poetic justice too, because eventually the elites use the rappers to put niggas on missions to kill each other. Then now it's getting to the point where now it's backfiring, where niggas are now killing the rappers instead of killing each other, which is still niggas killing niggas. Which, hey, the Most High judgment, he said that was going to happen for the disobedience of our people, right? But now it said, and every man's heart shall melt. Verse 8, and they shall be afraid Pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed at one another. Their faces shall be as flames. Yeah, meaning because why? They all going to be destroyed. All right? And the flames that's coming is that fire, okay, the nuclear missiles. All right? It says, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, both cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. You see? To lay the land desolate. This is what John Sally was saying. This is going to be land changes. Yeah, the land of America is going to be laid desolate according to the Bible. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Yeah, like he said, the sinners of my people. All right? The sinners of my people. All you so-called Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, gathered up in these false churches, okay, in these mosques and these synagogues, worshiping these different idols and these false gods. The Lord's, that's sin, first and foremost. All right, that's why we come and tell you that this is a deadly serious message that the Lord sent us out here to say. He say not to mention the name of these other gods. So you gotta have his name right. Because when the time of your destruction come upon you, call on Jesus, save me, you're gonna die, because that's not the name. And it's that serious, man. Yes, it is a big deal. And you can wait and see. You know what I'm saying? Be my guest. You ain't gotta take our word for it. All right, we ain't here to make nobody believe nothing. The Most High already has his elect that's gonna hear this word and believe in it. All right, the same way we came in. So it ain't no, oh, can you turn it down? Why you have to, man? Fuck all y'all, man. All right, if you offended over the truth and what we say, then this ain't for you, man. All right, and go ahead, don't take our word. Go ahead and stay in this world, stay in this lane, keep worshiping these devils and the shit that they gave you, and let's see how that turns out, man. You see, it says, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. Right, from the cloud of smoke, the mushroom clouds that's going to block out the sun and the stars and everything, right? That's what they call a nuclear winter. So the sun shall be darkened and is going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. Verse 11, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked, right? So not the whole world is going to be punished, I mean all the other nations, even 2/3 of our people. All right, we're not going to lie. So, oh, not all black people. First of all, from now on, you say black, I'm gonna call you anti-Semitic, man. That's an anti-Semitic trope, okay? Because we gonna use the word in its right context. If these devils could use it out of context, because that's what they do, and they ain't even saying the right word as we keep saying, but we gonna say it in the right context. So anytime somebody uses the word black referring to us, that's an anti-Semitic trope, okay? Look up the meaning of the word and then get back to me when you have understanding. It says, I will make pardon me, I skipped the other part. It says, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And is there not a lot of arrogant bastards walking around in America? The so-called white man is the king of arrogancy. That's why the small hatters, which was a great point the Apostle Torah pointed out in one of his shows, is that they're trained to think that they're better than you. They're brought up that way. That's from seeing, when they grow up in their houses as kids, they see the niggas come out by the house being helps, right? 'Cause that's the only thing a nigga or a Latino is good for with these small heights is cleaning their house, fixing their house up, keeping their lawn and their properties maintained. So their kids grow up seeing that, right? And seeing Jake always cleaning up their shit, their room, taking care of the animals, they bait. So they sit there and think that that's what Jake is. So they automatically look down upon you, not realizing that you're over them. All right. But the Lord is going to bring that to a head too. All right. Because they're going into slavery, man. But anyway, verse 12, the Lord said, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. And that's not just talking about any man. That's talking about an Israelite man, meaning with this knowledge, because the scriptures say knowledge and wisdom should be the stability at our times. So you got guys, this is a grown ass man crying about what's about to happen. Matter of fact, let me play it again.
But they're gonna talk about Kanye. The biggest Kanye fan. Soon as I see anything with Kanye that is huge and talked about everywhere, I step back and I look to my right and left. I look around. I go, something's about to happen. Because every time they've used Kanye as an excuse or a distraction, something went down that we were not paying attention to. In this present time, they're talking about White Lives Matter T-shirt, Black Lives Matters, what he's doing, people going back and
It
forth.
was just bullshit.
Yeah, and I think this Africa is upset. There's a war about to happen. There's a straight up war about to happen. This one's a real one. These are white folks against white folks. This is a real war. This is World War, like World War.
Yeah, ain't no Bloods and Crip battle. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no East Side versus the West Side, East Coast. No, this is a world war, just like World War I and II. All right, that's why the scripture say, uh, "The third woe cometh quickly," man. All right. So yeah, so what he's saying is basically on point. Okay, and that's what's happening. So I'm gonna just finish up the scripture, uh, verse 13. It says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place. See, just like he said, this war is gonna change lands. In the wrath of the Lord of hosts, who? The Lord of hosts. And in the day of his fierce anger. That's what's happening, man. You see? And it shall be as a chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. Yeah, speaking about these devils right now, you got niggas that's trying to still kiss ass to the master, trying to be house niggas and everything. But that thing is about to burn out, man. There's a lot of people, a lot of Jake ain't, they tired of that old same routine, man. That stepping, fetching, Uncle Tom, let's put the fire out of master's house, let's save master and fuck our own people. A lot of Jakes are tired of that, man. So it said, they shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land. And the people from the other countries been doing that, man. All right? You got a lot of people that's been getting the hell out of America because they know shit is about to happen, but not just in America, all around the world. It's just that America is gonna get it the worst, man. All right? America's gonna get it the worst. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined into them, joined into these devils and hold, I like white people, I don't care what them Israelites say. And all my white brothers and Jew, which, hey, you do that. But the scriptures say every one of them that is joined into them shall fall by the sword. See? Then the Lord said, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. This is what's coming. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. This is what's coming. And this is why they're going crazy down in Haiti. They already know that this is what these devils plan on doing down there. All right? But anyway, I'm going to end it there. I mean, it goes into more prophecy at the end, but I just wanted to just speak real quick. I saw this. I said, you know what? That's heavy, and this just show everything that what we've been saying is coming true. So hey, we basically through the spirit of the Lord, us doing these shows is like us eating spiritual popcorn, man. We just watching the Most High finish the movie, man. All right, and it's to the point where the credits are about to roll. All right, meaning the movie's gonna be over, and don't wait for no extended clip like you see Black Panther and these Marvel movies. After the credits, people sit there and wait. Oh man, I wonder get a glimpse of. No, the extended clip is gonna be what? The nation of Israel beating Esau's ass in the kingdom of heaven. If you sit around and wait for the sneak peek of what's coming next, that's what you're gonna see. That's what's going down according to the prophecies of the Bible. But with that, say Kal Halal, Yahweh Bashim Shai, and Yahweh Bashim Shai Brakathum to you, sincere Akim. Shalom.